If one were to Google the Mozart effect, one would find thousands of results, many of which support the idea that listening to Mozart improves intelligence. However, most recent research shows that the link between listening to Mozart and intelligence simply isn't there. So what is the truth? In 1991, Alfred A. Tomatis introduced what is now known as the Mozart effect in his book, Why Mozart? He used Mozart's music to retrain the ear and thought that listening to Mozart would help improve brain development. This research was investigated further when Ruscio, Shaw, and Kai studied the effects of listening to Mozart before performing spatial reasoning tests in 1993. According to the study, which was originally published in the prestigious journal Nature, groups that listened to Mozart before taking a spatial reasoning test performed better than groups who listened to relaxation exercises or silence. However, they also reported that this effect does not extend beyond the 15-minute period in which they were tested, and the study makes no claim that listening to Mozart boosts one's intelligence. Despite this, the finding was popularized and deemed the Mozart effect. During this popularization, Ruscio, Shaw, and Kai's study was misconstrued, and, eventually, many newspapers and magazines were reporting on how listening to Mozart, especially as a child, would increase intelligence. In 1998, both Georgia and Florida passed bills that provided infants with Mozart's music in an attempt to create smarter children. And many books, toys, and CDs were sold in the hopes that children would become smarter because of their exposure to Mozart. Even now, there are countless websites that sell products and systems designed to increase children's intelligence through Mozart's music. And it makes sense. Of course, parents want their children to be intelligent, and this want can be easily marketed by companies. And many adults, too, use the Mozart method in order to increase their own intelligence. When I mentioned this to my father, for example, he said he supposed listening to Mozart would help children and their development, or perhaps even their intelligence. He reasoned that it was likely that by listening to Mozart, children may be able to understand complex melodies and might perform better on tests. However, contrary to this popular belief, most modern research suggests that listening to Mozart truly doesn't make children geniuses. Some studies have suggested that listening to Mozart may help students perform better on tests, but this was likely due to the music's energetic and emotional qualities. Further studies and meta-analyses have shown that this cognitive enhancement is very minor and temporary, and it does not improve reasoning skills, IQ, or intelligence, and the effect is instead derived from enjoyment arousal. For example, a study conducted shows that groups that listened to Stephen King's audiobooks did just as well on spatial reasoning tests as groups that listened to Mozart, as long as they enjoyed the audio stimuli. This ultimately means that listening to Mozart won't make you or your children smarter. Listening to music or audio that you enjoy and that makes you happy or engaged may help you do better on tests because of the enjoyment arousal phenomena. But even this is temporary and will not make you more intelligent in the long run. Of course, listening to Mozart is a great idea for everyone, regardless of age, because of his genius use of melody and rhythm, but unfortunately, listening to any music won't make you the next Einstein.